Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is a Valentine's Day, but who celebrates Valentine's Day? February the 14th, 2019. Value your wealth on Bitcoin on this Valentine's Day. Don't value it in you know what? Strong hand, long-term thinking. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. No fancy sets or graphics here. Authentic conviction. All right, people, measure your time in halvings. And we don't have that much time until the next show. This Week in Bitcoin is Friday. That's tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 1:30 p.m. London time. Tawanda Kembo will be on the show, and two other guests will be on the show. We'll talk some Zimbabwe. We'll talk all sorts of Bitcoin topics, all sorts of crypto topics, crypto dividends. Who knows? Who knows what can come up in conversation on This Week in Bitcoin show, 8:30 a.m. Friday. Follow me on Twitter if you need updates. TechBalt, TechBalt. Let's see. Oh, remember to play this show at 2x. I play all my videos that I watch, and I don't watch my own videos, by the way, but every video I watch, I play at least at 1.5x speed. Yesterday, I was talking about Be Private. Some people asked about Be Private. If you really want to claim that, you can get in touch with Rocky Palumbo. He splits coins for people. He gets crypto dividends for people. He's a great guy, and he provides that service. His email is listed below. He does all sorts of crypto consultation, not just with forks and crypto dividends and airdrops. So he's a good guy. Check him out. He's linked to below. I just wanted to give him a shout out. He's been on the show before. You guys are familiar with him. Mizir Mamadouv had this great tweet. Came into Bitcoin for the short-term dollar gains. Stayed in Bitcoin for the long-term Bitcoin gains. Pound that like button. So yeah, dude, a lot of people come into this game thinking about dollars, valuing their wealth in dollars and women. And then they evolve and they're like, wait a second, long-term thinking, Bitcoin. I'm valuing my wealth in Bitcoin now. So yeah, it's not about the short-term dollar gains, people. You stick around this game because you want the long-term Bitcoin gains. So great tweet. Yesterday, when I was talking about Be Private, I was talking about market cap. I couldn't think of the term realized cap. Realized cap, the value of all coins in circulation at the price they last moved. In other words, an approximation of the value paid for all coins in circulation. That measurement and a lot of other measurements are linked to below. charts.woobold.com/Bitcoin-valuations. It's linked to below. Always check out the link section below. Read all the stories that are down there. You'll learn a lot about Bitcoin. This is the class. That's the homework down there. You always got to do the homework. It's very important. You really gain a new perspective on things. And hey, man, I provide this stuff for you. Take advantage of it, people. Take advantage. You could search. Takes you a long time to search all this stuff out by yourself. So something that wouldn't take a long time to search out today is the news that JP Morgan, that so many people vilify and blame for all their problems in life and think is part of some conspiracy that ruins people. Take personal responsibility. JP Morgan didn't make you poor. You make yourself rich by holding Bitcoin, first of all. But anyway, going back to JP Morgan that everybody puts on this pedestal as if there's some great king of some sort. They announced here, JP Morgan, the largest bank in America, and by some measures the world, will launch a dollar-backed cryptocurrency called the JPM coin to settle payments between the bank's clients. According to CNBC, the token will be tested starting in a few months. It would be the first blockchain-based currency created by a major U.S. bank. So after reading this in Breaker Magazine, and again, it's all linked to below, my only comment was going to be, did JP Morgan issue a press release back in 1997 when they launched their intranet? I mean, whatever. It's their own private cryptocurrency they're going to use with their clients. They control it. It's a stable coin. Wow, that's great. But I later found the following article, which made me think a little bit more about this. Because again, this is so crypto noisy. I mean, the answer is not your own private coin; it's Bitcoin, and this is just this is just their way of getting in on the game and experimenting and whatever. I'm sure it'll benefit them in some way, but you shouldn't be worried. When I say you, I mean Bitcoin holder. I mean, but then there's a new perspective on this. I read an article, this article by Bloomberg. JP Morgan's crypto coin puts Ripple's relevance in question. JP Coin, a so-called stable coin JP Morgan Chase and Company plans for its clients to use in cross-border payments, is a direct threat to one of the most visible blockchain companies, Ripple, and the digital currency used in its products. So yeah, maybe this is like whatever Ripple is trying to do. Maybe this is what they were trying to do. So that's kind of funny. A battle of centralized companies here. Oh, who's going to win, JP Morgan or Ripple? Oh, God. So that's fun. It's just a reminder, this whole situation, that it might be a threat to Ripple, just shows how silly that Ripple is. That it's like, we'll look back in 20 years on Ripple, just like we look back on like 1997 when we hear about companies' private intranets that were going to solve all the world's problems. Hey, Bitcoin memes today, thank you for the 20 Norwegian krona. He says strong hand. And I'm going to talk about what you mentioned in the chat before the show started at the end of this show. It kind of pertains to what we're talking about here, private cryptocurrencies or centralized cryptocurrencies. Now, a Rippler who I guess felt threatened by this whole situation, I guess he might be the guy in charge of Ripple. What's his name? B. Garlinghouse? Is he the guy? I don't know who's in charge of that company. I'm not interested in private companies. I'm interested in Bitcoin. Pound that like button. But he did have an interesting tweet that I agree with on many levels. I mean, I conclude that Bitcoin is the answer. I don't think he comes to the same conclusion. He says, as predicted, banks are changing their tune on crypto. Yes, that I also predicted that. But this JP Morgan project misses the point. Introducing a closed network today is like launching AOL after Netscape's IPO 2 years later, and bank coins still aren't the answer. So yeah, I think I agree. Bank coins aren't the answer. Bitcoin is the answer, and I do think this is like, it's talking about the intranet when we already had the internet, which a lot of people were doing. They thought we had the internet. They're like, "Oh, intranet's better. We're going to make our own internet. It's called intranets." And Bench McCall sent $5. Thank you very much. He said, "I'm all for the JP Morgan coin. The more crypto gets out into the Wall Street establishment, the more eyes it brings to Bitcoin." Pound that like button, Bench McCall. You read my mind, because guess what, dude? Guess what? I was going to share a tweet just about this. Hang on 1 second. Well, I'll jump to this. Alistair Milne had a good take on this, and is linked to below. I view stable coins as gateway drugs to real crypto assets on public blockchains. The more, the merrier. So again, his outlook is similar to yours, Vention. You know, you create something that's much less than perfect. That's definitely not Bitcoin. It gets a lot of people aware of cryptocurrency, though. And hopefully some of them will then get into Bitcoin. Yeah, so as you said, Benshin, more eyes it brings to Bitcoin. The more eyes it brings to Bitcoin. So Alistair Milne basically said the same thing to you about that in terms of, this is supposed to be a stable coin. Now, this stable coin, I think, is only going to be used by clients of JP Morgan. But again, it might interest them in Bitcoin. Open them up to other stable coins that everybody can use. Definitely will get people more aware of Bitcoin. Now, there was a FUD version of this story out there too, by Barron's, that someone notified me of. JP Morgan just killed the Bitcoin dream. That's another obituary. Pound that like button for obituaries. Keep them coming, because this thing ain't dying, baby. But the full version of that Barron's story, you can't actually read it at Barron's anymore. You have to pay there. But someone put it on YouTube and they read it out. So I linked to that story if you want to, if you dare listen to why JP Morgan just killed the Bitcoin dream. If you'd like to hear FUD. Hey man, it strengthens your hand. It's a vaccine against FUD when you get a little exposure to FUD. Moving on. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about JP Morgan coin. It is what it is. I'm still holding my Bitcoin. It'll be good. It's an intranet, but it'll wake some people up to Bitcoin. So good positive spin on things, and we got a FUD in there too. Zach Vole, who's been on the show before, he says, FYI, Masari Crypto maintains the most comprehensive Lightning Network resource page. On the internet, you'll find developer links, podcast interviews, analysis pieces, a lab directory, conference videos, etc. If you want to learn about Lightning, go here. So that is linked to below. I know a lot of you want to learn about Lightning. I'm always trying to provide some info that you might not know. So there's an easy link you can click on. All right. So I've said it before. I'll say it again, that it's all cyclical here in crypto. There'll be a fiat boom again. And I got to say, when this next cycle starts, that all the holders, the strong holders, the holders of last resort, we have such a head start in all this. I mean, we've got a head start because everyone will be scrambling to get their Bitcoin, to be back in Bitcoin again. Oop, got to get back in right now. Got to get back in for the hype. But we're already in. We have a head start. So think of it that way. When you're a holder of last resort, long-term thinker, you've got a head start on all these people, these impulsive people, these 80%ers out there. So also, someone who started to follow me, sometimes I check out new people following me on Twitter. I'd like to see. Again, you can follow me at TechBalt, TechBalt on Twitter, Bitcoin Meister on Steemit, where this show is live right now. But someone said they're a full-time crypto trader. A full-time crypto trader. Now, talking about the next hype cycle, it's guys like that, man, that are just going to fuel it. Guys who are they're gamblers. I mean, they're going to lose, 90% of the time, 99% of the time. So they're going to be jumping between these alts, and they're going to say it's their job. They're full-time. They're full-time. They were full-time, what was it, during the early 2000s, day traders, stock day traders too. That was their full-time job. And now they're, I don't know what they're doing. Selling real estate, working at the gas station. I mean, whatever. No shame in anything like that. But they're not full-time day traders anymore. It's not something you really can maintain because you lose all your money eventually. It's gambling. But no, hey, personal responsibility is new culture, new counterculture. So yeah, take personal responsibility. You can do that, but don't blame me. I warned you. Don't go run to for me saying, hey, you got to bail me out now. You're rich. I want to tax your wealth to bail me out because I became a crypto trader. But anyway, those crypto traders of the present, of the future, full-time, they're the ones that fuel the hype, that hype up all the nonsense, and it all flows back into Bitcoin. And again, I've lived through it once. We'll live through another cycle. I mean, I've really lived through. Yeah, I mean, since 2013. I mean, I've held Bitcoin since 2013. So yeah, that's more than one cycle. It's more than one cycle. But again, we're in terms of the fiat cycle of its value in fiat, and I value my wealth in Bitcoin. we're getting to that point, when it gets to the halving, where it'll turn around again and everything. We've been through this. So yeah, someone in the chat always asks, when moon? And it's a ridiculous question. Because again, if you're impulsive, if you got to ask every single chat, when's it going to moon, you're not going to do very well in this. Who cares what's right? You get more Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the future. All right, you value your wealth in Bitcoin. You're just trying to get more Bitcoin. You don't care if it's worth, because guess what? It might be worth 3,500 today. It could be worth 3,000 tomorrow. Is that going to be bad? Are you going to panic sell or something like that because you thought it was going to moon tomorrow? But yeah, again, how about this, Mooner? We're 1 day closer to returning to 20K. It always returns to its all-time high. You just have to be patient, and you just got to value your wealth in Bitcoin. Finally, there was a rumor in the chat that I mentioned. Bitcoin Memes today said the central bank of Norway central bank spreading FUD today, telling the people of Norway to stay away from Bitcoin. In the same speech, he is announcing that they are making their own crypto coin. Oh, well, just like JP Morgan. I would love to get a link about this to see if that would be very interesting news if Norway is making their own Fed coin, what type of Fed coin it is. That would be pretty big news. Them saying stay away from Bitcoin, now that's common. I mean, there's so many countries that say that. But if they're saying it in the same speech where they're saying we're having our Fed coin, well, they're straight up admitting what they're doing. They want to know every taxable transaction out there, and they're going to make it really easy for everyone. Give them their Fed coins, their Norway Fed coins, and yeah, don't go in that Bitcoin thing because we can't keep track of that. That's not easy. That's not the system for us. All right, pound that like button, bang that bell button, subscribe to the channel. Check out the links below. Remember, next I do a news show here every day, and tomorrow, Friday, is This Week in Bitcoin, live from Tel Aviv, 8:30 a.m. in New York, and that is 1:30 p.m. in London. I will say hi to all of you in the chat, and yeah, Norwegian people, send me some info about that. If that happened, what exactly happened today there. Thanks.